Hi, I'm David Ezekiel, transitional pastor for the First Federated Church of Peoria. Welcome to our midweek moment. Anyone who knows me knows that I am a big fan of process because process helps you do things intentionally and deliberately to achieve the best possible outcomes. Sometimes process may seem to be slow, but it does work, such as is evident by the story that Parker Palmer, educator and writer, tells. He says, at one community meeting, we ran into a high conflict issue. We ran out of time and agreed to postpone this issue until the following week. All week, emotions ran high and opposing views intensified. We eagerly assembled at the next meeting, impatient to get the issue resolved. This was a Quaker community. Each meeting began with 5 minutes of silence. And on this day, the clerk announced that due to the intensity of this issue, we would not begin with 5 minutes of silence. We all breathed a sigh of relief, only to hear her announce, today we will begin with 20 minutes of silence. But Palmer goes on to say, it was a highly effective time because following the process allowed us to deliberate without being held hostage to a sense of urgency. You see, urgency is the unavoidable consequence and companion of crisis. It seems to be a valuable relationship. Crises demand immediate attention and response. And often the more we know about a situation, the more urgent we become. We have to do something now. Our concern and love needs to be instantly translated into action. Otherwise, it will seem as if we don't care. When we work from this place of urgency, we set ourselves up for failure. We work very hard, push our agenda, get aggressive when we think we need to, and end up more exhausted than effective. And we get angry. Anyone who doesn't respond immediately becomes our enemy. They may actually be wise people who caution patience, who have a longer-term perspective. But we can't hear their wisdom or experience. We're too anxiously engaged in our own cause. We hastily judge them as being in denial or just looking for an excuse not to get involved. Those who advise proceeding more slowly with process are not the problem. Our aggression is. Captured by a sense of urgency, we create categories, those for and those against us, those who get it, those who don't. Enemies proliferate, and as they increase in number, we respond with greater ferocity. We have to fight even harder because there's so much opposition to our just cause. This is the predictable cycle of urgency because things can't wait. We fall into bad behaviors. We proceed full force, shoving people out of our way, ignoring the signals, refusing to behave more moderately or modestly. Instead, we martyr ourselves for the cause and fight back with greater intensity. In all of this ferocious activity, we fail to notice that it's our own behaviors that are intensifying the opposition. So just stop, and think about it in your own life, that urgency leads nowhere except to the wilderness of aggression and failure. It doesn't serve our cause. It doesn't serve anything. So take a moment and ponder those areas where you feel that you have to be intensely urgent, and realize that if you slow down just a little bit, you may find a better answer that makes your cause more effective. I'm David Ezekiel, and thank you for joining me for this midweek moment.